Hey guys, I wanted to show you one of the best purchases that I've got since having a baby, and that is the Dr. Brown sterilizer. It comes in 3 different parts. There's a tray, and then a basket, and then the base of the machine. So at the bottom of the base is where they have the HEPA filter. It does come with 2 HEPA filters and is recommended to replace it every 6 months. So that should last you the entire year. This is what's helping to sterilize those bottles. So at the bottom of the base is where you will put the water in. You can see I have a little bit of buildup, but that's because I don't use distilled water. I mean, who can use distilled water all the time? So I just use water out my fridge. Came with a little measuring cup, so you just fill it up to the line, and then you pour it inside to the base right there. To get rid of the buildup, they said to use a combination of water and vinegar to kind of help remove that buildup. So then you want to just insert your clean bottles. Again, your bottles already have to be clean. So I use obviously just warm soap and water, and it holds up to 6 bottles. You can do either the 4-ounce bottles, 8-ounce bottles. You can even use other bottles than Dr. Brown's. I have Dr. Brown's. Then the little tray up top is for your accessories. So I like to put them in the holes individually like this. You can actually fit a lot of stuff on here. I've put on here my Medela breast pump accessories, pacifiers, and even in the inside of the basket, I've put my Dr. Brown's mixing pitcher, which is a pretty big pitcher, and it fits at the bottom of the basket there. So I'm just right here just replacing all my stuff, and then I put the lid on. So want to make sure you have a tight seal. So if it doesn't close all the way, there's probably something in the way. So just kind of rearrange the stuff to make sure that your lid fits nice and snug. That way nothing comes out. That's the power button there. You could either do just sterilize, or you can do just a dry cycle, or you can do what I do, and I do the auto, which will sterilize and dry. If you're doing the auto, it's about 12 minutes on the sterilizing part and about 45 minutes of the drying part. So roughly about an hour to clean the bottles. But honestly, this is a lot better than having to boil the bottles on the stove. The machine is pretty quiet. I don't hear it unless it's beeping when it's done. And one thing I do want to mention is that you can see some of the evaporation coming from the machine. So I tend to move it away from underneath the cabinets just in case I don't want any water damage to my cabinets. So just kind of keep that in mind. So have somewhere in an open environment. I'm not going to lie, the sterilizer does take up a lot of counter space, but I would prefer it to take up counter space than having to stand in front of the stove and boil all these bottles. And then you got to sit there and wait for them to dry. Who has that kind of time with a newborn baby? So as a first-time parent or any parent, this bottle sterilizer is definitely a must-have.